Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhair agale, ni hao, chune shumme, washmale, ohio gonzaimas, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifahal, and hale shuma chatore, ahlan wasalan, marhaba, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PT World and are watching World this morning alongside Shazad Khan. I hope that everybody is doing perfect. Today, the date is 30th March, and this is 2018, and the day today, ladies and gentlemen, is Friday. I don't know why, but Friday always makes me happy. It might be probably because of the fact that, after Friday, you get Saturday and Sunday to relax. You can go out with your family and do whatever you feel like. So it's time to rise and shine, wake and bake, get up, and be more focused about your goals or whatever you want to achieve in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a gift which has been given to you by Allah, and it is only given once. Please make sure that you use it to the fullest. But before we move on towards the top stories, there's a very important message for the competent authorities who are out there, that since yesterday I have witnessed that I think that the Margla Hills are at a blaze and they are on fire, and there's quite a lot of smoke towards E11 or the E7 pattern. If you, for example, drive from Margla Road towards E11 from E7, you can see them on the right. So if there's anybody who's out there, I don't know why they're on fire, but if there's anybody who can actually do something about it, please make sure that we need to do something about that. Already, I think that quite a lot of greenery is just getting depleted too as well, so please make sure that you look after that. So now I think it's about time that we tell you what's going on all around the world. Good morning. Let's do it. Congratulations, Pakistan, as Pakistan has conducted successful test fire of submarine-launched cruise missile Babar. Director General ISPR Major General Asif Ghafoor has said that submarine-launched cruise missile Babar has a range of 450 kilometers. He said the Babar launched from an underwater dynamic platform. Wow. So it is launched from a submarine and it goes up in the air. Well, that's some different technology. Four-day International Film Festival by Film Society has begun in Karachi. The Pakistan International Film Festival is the largest film festival. Screen features shots and documentaries from Pakistan and around the world. Wow, the film industry is booming. Tens of thousands of locals packed Ueno Park as Tokyo's cherry blossom came into full bloom nearly 9 days earlier than usual, thanks to warmer weather. Well, ask us, it's going to be hot over here in Pakistan. And a brown giant panda has been spotted on camera in a nature reserve in northwest China's Shaanxi province. According to Provincial Forestry Administration, the panda was captured on camera in the Changxing National Nature Reserve in Jiangxian County on 11th March. I think Chinese just love pandas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these were the top stories, and now coming back to the point where today we are celebrating, and I think I won't be wrong that, for example, when I was a kid, I used to ask my parents, why don't we have angels on earth? And they never had an answer to that. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to celebrate doctors globally as well, because these are the people whom I refer to as angels. Whenever you are in need, whenever you are sick, whenever you are down, whenever your loved one's down, these are the people who are always there. They just do. They do look after their families, but they do look after their patients more and more. And this is why we are going to celebrate the day itself. This is National Doctors' Day, ladies and gentlemen. It is being commemorated all over the globe as well. And we are here to celebrate the services they have rendered for any of their patient or any of the benefactor. And what people do is that they usually get together, they go to their physicians, they offer them a meal, give them flowers, bouquet, and whatnot. Because within their journey from MBBS to specialization and then to looking after and then to surgery, they are really not left with any time or choice or where they can actually go out with their families. They do, I'm not saying that they do not, but most of the time they're just looking after people and they're very true to their profession as well. So to celebrate and to ask whether how's life as a doctor. I think we have been actually joined by very apt guests over here, and both of them are actually my favorite as well, because whenever there's anything which I need, or if there's any advice which I need, these are the people whom I'm called. These are the people whose name actually comes up to my head, and they've always done it, and I'm glad that they actually joined us today as well. So ladies and gentlemen, on my right hand side, we have been joined by somebody who's consultant medical specialist and pulmonologist. He's the founder, Islamabad Diagnostic Center. He's none other than Dr. Rizwan Uppal. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much, both Shukriya. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. And last but not the least, alongside Dr. Rizwan Uppal, we have been joined by somebody who's a general physician. He's none other than Dr. Mubashir Bhatti. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
Wonderful.
What
Great.
took you so long?
Oh, I don't want to say.
Okay, it's perfectly all right. So let's get the conversation started. And since the time you entered in a medical college, and you've started looking after people, you had your patients, how is a day in doctor's life, and how do you think that you're going to define that, how important is this day for us to celebrate for our physicians and doctors?
Yeah, first of all, I think no introduction for a doctor can be better than the words that you have
Thank you very
selected.
much.
I think I'm, on behalf of all the doctors, not only from Pakistan, whoever is watching this and whoever is celebrating this today, should feel more humbled by knowing that patients and the people and the public and community takes us as angels. This is the best introduction that we can have. And this is, I think, this introduction is actually the flower bouquet that we doctors receive every day. Although this is the doctor's day, one day, but to me, every day is a doctor day. Once patients do acknowledge us, do appreciate us. And this appreciation and acknowledgement is one thing which I think is the driving force that such a difficult profession to study, such a difficult and hard profession to serve the patients and community, we are still able to do so once we get these positive vibes from the patients.
Wow, amazing that is. Dr. Mubashir, how would you congratulate your own self or your colleagues on this day as well? But ladies and gentlemen, this is not just one day, and we are celebrating or we are observing is because of the fact that we are going to create a ripple effect. And the ripple effect is, for example, you throw a stone into the water, the waves keep on coming back to you as well. So once we recognize it, I think, and it is very important, it is very pivotal for all those print media, channels and everybody to recognize the services of these men who've actually might not have looked after their families so much, but they've looked after the entire community and the people around them. So how would you highlight the importance?
Thank you very much. I'm presenting Pakistan National Commission for Human Development. So when I say the word of the human development, the contribution of the medical profession is really awesome. The doctors are those who really contribute their own passion, their own player, their own integrity. You can see they go to the emergency, to the crisis, to everywhere. They die with the patients, honestly. When they hands on a patient who has a communicable diseases, if they put hands on them, that means they are at the risk at all the time. So it means the passions of the doctors, that is a player which give to in human development.
Exactly.
So anybody who are really serving the humanity, I think is the best we should appreciate. And the Doctor's Day, I think, is the best. The people should get appreciation every day.
And yeah, this is what I wanted to know, how important it is, because quite a lot of times I've seen, when you go to hospitals or different places or in clinics, people do get agitated. They have so many questions and they keep on asking the doctor. The doctor might have to look after like 100 other patients too, but they're always very modest. They're always very humble. They don't say a word back as well. But how do you tolerate that? And how important it is to be recognized on such a platform?
I can, I think, describe the doctors in few words.
Sure.
Doctor must be the doctors. The meaning by that is the hero. And the hero is only who sacrifice and create such kind of climate which normal person cannot do it. That's why the hero. So doctor must be compassionate, must be humble, have a lot of humility. The person who has a knowledgeable with the confidence to hold such kind of situation which ordinary person cannot do it. Because the patient, they're already in trouble. In 1 minute delay of the doctor, the patient is agitation.
Exactly.
So it is the doctor's duty, being a hero, how to handle that situation.
Exactly.
So when we say that thing, that gave it a lot of strong ethical command by the medical profession to address the situation in any situation. The hero is basically who can handle the situation at any situation, you know. So I think the medical profession is not only a art, it is a fun to address the human values in crisis.
Very nice. I think it is very well explained as well, because for a moment I thought that, you know, doctor is actually a figure from a comic or a superhero as well, and it is true indeed. But now let's come down to a point where you actually have to sacrifice, you know, okay, there was a party, there was a dinner, you had to go to, kids and wife are going, you had to call them in the 11th hour, I cannot come in, you know, I've got a patient to see. How does all that go in a doctor's life, and how do you make sure that, you know, all things go parallel, side by side?
Yeah, actually, this is something very common for every doctor's life. And if you see, human life is composed of different circles: social life, personal life, family life, professional life, and so many other small circles as well. So what doctors do, they have to compromise few circles. And the most important comes first is the personal life. And then comes the family life circle. So these are all restricted. But in return, you get so much for yourself that this is the only profession, if someone asks me, if I'm given a second life, I would again opt to be a doctor. Not only me, my daughters, she told me, Father, I want to become a doctor, and she's in the medical college. I asked her, this is a difficult profession. I would insist you just to reconsider your decision. But she says, no, I want to become a doctor. So this is something which gives you a feeling that although you're not giving time, and that the family deserves, and the time that you yourself deserve for yourself, but still you want to stay in this profession, it's because you are helping the suffering humanity. And the agitation that you were saying, it's actually the expectation of the patient towards the doctor whom they never knew. He's not their blood relation, but they still look at him as a fatherly, motherly, or savior sort of figure. And then they just, in that expectation, in pain, agony, they get agitated. And that agitation also has acknowledgement. And the acknowledgement, otherwise, the patients do give. Every other day, we receive messages from the patients. Kids are our best appreciator. They come up with beautiful cards, handmade cards, flowers. So these things give you so much energy that you decide, okay, let's compromise few things for such a big return.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to ask. So when you compromise all of those things, you obviously get a backlash too as well. You know, your wife might call you or might not talk to you for a day or two as well, that, you know, you were supposed to come to my mother's place, you didn't come. How important can be a patient? So how do you keep a balance in that? Because people out there, they do not understand that doctors are just like humans, just like us. And they have family, they have kids, they have their parents, and they have to look after them too. But somehow, you know, we get so swayed away when we are sick that we just want the doctor at that very moment. And things can go out of hand at times.
Yeah, it is definitely difficult, but you need a compromising and adjusting family. And doctors' family do learn very soon that they have to live with this life. And it is something that I have seen even in my life, in my colleagues' life, that they do have these problems. I feel that the doctors, they have, when they start studying, even at the pre-medical level, at that stage, at that very particular time, once they are 17 or 18, they start to compromise their lives, their family life, their social life, and that continues. And anyone who is associated with them, like the family, they have to suffer. And they suffer at one end, but at the end of the day, they also do appreciate and acknowledge that, yes, it is worth it. And if I say about my family, and this is usually with all the other families of the doctors, very soon they also start to feel the same acknowledgement and appreciation that is coming to their husbands or the spouse, that it is something that they should also contribute by sacrificing their own lives.
Very nice, amazing. Dr. Bashir, what's your take on this one?
Great.
Do you get those rough days where your wife's actually not talking to you because, you know, you were too busy looking after a patient?
I think when we say the doctors have the ability to manage a lot of things, holding a professional sport.
well, a man at home cannot be a doctor or an engineer or anybody. He's just a husband.
But can I tell you one thing?
Sure.
When we are dealing every day with the situation, morning to the evening, about the patient's phone calls, the patient's temperament, you know, even sometimes there is certain medications, they are not symptomatic.
Yeah.
So the patient say, yeah, I don't have any benefit out of it. So you can helping them in non-professional guide to understand some professional thing. So doctors get this compassionate feeling and how to handle the situation at home. I think is a balance.
You're not letting away the secret. I think this is where I'm stuck right now.
The secret is basically needs the professionalism, a continuous process. So professionalism is a process, not an event. So that's what the secret is.
Okay, that's cool. But my definition of such an incident is very different, because I think that a diamond or a toy always works. I mean, if your wife's not talking to you, a diamond might work if you can afford, or if your kids are not talking to you, a toy might work. Is that correct or not?
Maybe for one time or maybe twice, but not always. But
not
as
all the time.
Dr. Shah was saying, doctors are smart enough.
Obviously, that's why they're doctors.
So they know how to manage the time as well, and how to manage, because we manage people as well.
Exactly.
So a little bit of management also is transferred to the family life.
Amazing that is. But I think that we are going to take advantage of this opportunity and this day, that I actually want doctors to talk to all of those people who are out there and tell them that, at times things can go out of hands, and this is how you actually need to behave. Doctors are human beings too as well. And both of you can have your own pledge. So whoever wants to go first, talk to people.
Yeah, I would say that, as I was saying, that people do have a lot of expectations from the doctors, and these are the expectations which at times put doctors also in awkward situations. So if we miss one goal, that usually is something which gives pain to the doctor as well. But patients should also realize that at the end of the day, behind the overall and the stethoscope, there is a human being who also has emotions, who tries his level best to save you, to save your life, to bring you back to the health, to your profession, to whatever. So we should acknowledge, we should appreciate, and this acknowledgement and appreciation is one thing which drives the doctors, because doctors at the end of the day are also human beings, they're artists, they need appreciation, acknowledgement. So my message would be, doctors also are human beings, they deserve appreciation at every level, and this is something which highly educated class of a community serving the public should get the share of their services to the humanity.
Amazing, very nice, very well said. Beautiful. Dr. Saab.
I would like to...
We are trying to educate the people out there too as well.
Exactly. And I'd like to give one event which I saw on the WhatsApp a few days before. There is one doctor, he was running in the hospital to see a patient, and the father of a patient was very angry. You don't know my son is dying, you're so late, you're senseless, you're patienceless, you're humanityless, And doctor did his job, he's a surgeon, he did his job, the patient got benefit, and he was running back, then patient's father was again crying, you are not listening me, you don't have any ethics, blah, 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 blah. And when doctor runs away, the nurse told to the patient's father, doctor's son was on the deathbed, and now he has died, and is going to preparation for his funeral. So sometimes patients, they have no idea, and doctor has no even command to give his feeling to the patients, and still he tried to smile, try to be a caring guy, so that patient cannot be overwhelming our situation. If the doctor is looking at the patient and saying something which basically is not feeling positive, even the doctor is doing the right treatment, the patient not taking the right perception out of his treatment. So the doctor tried to be smart, humble, compassionate, so professional, showing his all abilities to be knowledgeable, so that the ethics and commanding to the human care, they should not be compromised. While the doctor's insight was going on, nobody knows on that part. So the message to the patients and the community, please be patient with the doctor is saying. Don't be a professional with the Google and Yahoo, and try to be following a command from the professional, not a command from the Google and the robot, because the robot cannot help. The human body is not a machine. Human body is a full complex phenomena. One disease is not basically the one disease to the other in the same manner. Every disease to different individuals are the different dynamics. So please listen carefully to the doctors, and doctors can be only professional if the patient is in a professional manner to address his problems to the doctors and listening carefully and following it. Don't to be a professional against the doctor gets irritated and try to, hide certain things to cover the situation. So please give the due respect to the doctors, and a message to the doctors basically are those who are professionally commanding to heal the humans. And the healing is a phenomenon, not an event. So this is process. Please give time to the doctors to address that process in a professional manner. Don't expect doctors is like a robot to make something happen like a machine.
Amazing.
So respect the doctors.
Amazing. Thank you very much for such wise words. But, sir, towards the end, we have to wrap up the segment as well. There's one small example, there's one small thing which I wanted to ask, and that is, for example, if I take my car to a mechanic, and the mechanic goes like, okay, I need to change the oil filter or whatsoever the case is, and I tell him that, okay, I might go to the other mechanic. He might be like, why don't you just get lost from my workshop? How is it with doctors when we ask them, okay, sir, can we go for the second opinion?
Yeah. Actually, in the medical profession, it's exactly opposite. Usually, we seek the colleagues' and peers' opinion ourselves. We're supposed to do so, and we usually do so. Most of the time, I may require a surgeon. I'm a medical specialist, so I need a surgeon for the laparoscopic cholecystectomy, maybe.
Exactly.
Or maybe a surgeon may be requiring a medical specialist opinion about a diabetic for the fitness to start the surgery. And as said, so we
it's
are
a
all
teamwork.
interlinked. Yeah,
Wow.
we are a team, basically. We may be sitting far away, we may not be knowing each other, but from qualification, from the other things, we say, okay, fine, go to this doctor, get this opinion, and get back to me, or then go to the other doctor. So we are interlinked.
So if you are to pay tribute to one doctor, which when you were a kid and you used to go see him, take his name and tell us how he was.
I would say my father, he was a doctor.
Wow.
I took inspiration from him, and I feel that this, as I was saying, this is generation, from my generation is trickling down, and this is the story of every doctor I have seen, that usually this is the only profession you will find that their kids also choose to become doctor.
And even all of you are doctors too as well.
Yeah,
mashallah.
my two brothers, my younger brother and my elder brother, both are doctors. So I love this profession. I'm in love with it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sir, what about you? Who are you going to pay tribute? Whose name are you going to take over here when you were a kid and you went to see somebody or your physician?
I have some pain phenomena. My parents died because of medical negligence. We belong to a village. The village, Bokobati, is close to the border. So I think the professional approaches are very neglected in that typical part of the country, everywhere in the border areas. So I realized this profession need some professional support to the people who are ignorant, having less knowledge, and they have not ability to find their way to go to the professional.
Yeah.
So they go to the quack, they go to the any guy who the people say is good guy. So my all efforts were how we can communicate this thing to the grassroots level, the people get the right approach.
Very nice.
And I really impressed from one guy I would like to tribute the
Sure.
gentleman, doctor, he was on Multan, Hakeem Sabr Multani.
Okay.
I'm a medical doctor, but I don't believe in the symptomatic.
Yeah.
I believe in the healing process.
Okay.
So that's why I got specialized in integrated medicine. How
When
integrated
it's your
other
day,
things.
whoever
I
you want to
appreciate
recognize.
Mr. Opal, he's doing homeopath.
Very nice.
I have believed in that too. I appreciate in the natural phenomena, and the phenomena basically healing and caring altogether.
Amazing.
Body-wise, spirit-wise, and physical phenomena, the ailments-wise.
Thank you very much.
So
The choice was all yours, and I think you've said enough.
one word I'd like to say on
Sure.
that part. I am so inspired from this natural phenomena, from the Hakeem Sabr Multani. He must get the appreciation from this country. He had delivered certain knowledge. I have requested Dr. Opal too. You must study in that gap. He really conveyed the message to the humanity, professional to the grassroots level, to find their ways.
Amazing. Thank you very much for being with us, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It
Thank
was
you.
lovely to have you. It's your day.
Thank you.
And you still cannot celebrate, but globally, ladies and gentlemen, it's an off day for doctors. But, over here in Pakistan, we've got so many dedicated doctors working for people's benefit and their health that they'll actually have to go as well. But thank you very much for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thanks.
But towards the, before wrapping up the segment, I think I'm going to pay tribute to one of my doctors too as well, Dr. Colonel Salim Siddiqui, if you're watching. You've done a great job for the last 10 years. I've been coming to you after every 2 months. And thank you very much, sir, for being there. And it makes me feel relaxed to just to know that you're out there. And anytime, whenever I need you, you'll be there for me. So thank you very much to all the doctors who've actually helped anybody. But before wrapping up the segment, ladies and gentlemen, on 30th of March, back in 1867, the United States buys Alaska from Russia. And we've got a small video to share with you guys. Meanwhile, I'll say bye to my guest. Go ahead, take a look.
Century, the Russian Empire expanded into North America, settling along Alaska's Pacific coast. But throughout the next century, the Tsar's government lost interest in supporting the movement. The empire offered the territory to the states during James Buchanan's presidency, but the Civil War hindered those negotiations. Talks resumed under President Andrew Johnson and Secretary of State William H. Seward. Seward, an expansionist eager to gain territory, reached a deal with Russia on March 30th, 1867 for $7 million, which broke down to 2 cents an acre. Alaska now belonged to the states. But the purchase was mocked in Congress and nearly didn't pass the Senate. The territory was formally handed over to the U.S. 6 months later, but its inclusion took decades. Up until the late 19th century, the territory was mocked as Seward's Folly, Seward's Icebox, or President Andrew Johnson's Polar Bear Garden. But their $7 million purchase was more than warranted when gold was discovered in the late 1890s. Some 100,000 folks migrated north during the Klondike Rush. Soon, Alaska was recognized for its other natural resources. Its location served well during World War II. And then, on January 3, 1959, nearly a century after the land was purchased from Russia, Alaska became the 49th and largest state in the Union.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so back in 1867, United States bought Alaska from Russia, and this was one small clip to let you know a bit about history too as well. Right now, we're going to head out for a short break. Don't go anywhere, because when you guys are going to come back, we are going to talk about these people on social media who makes vines and, you know, these funny videos, and how do these things work, and what do we really have to be careful about? What about the different audiences all across the globe? Whom do we cater? So many questions after the break. Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PT World, you watch World this morning alongside Shahzad Khan. Today, earlier in our first segment, ladies and gentlemen, we were paying rich tribute to all the doctors who are out there who actually, you know, do not even think about their own lives, do not even think about their own families, but they're out there to, you know, serve us, to help us. And today we celebrated them. But right now, before we introduce our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, as I earlier told you, that today, back in 1867, the United States bought Alaska from Russia. So I'm going to take you back in history once again, where this is the birthday today on 30th of March of Mehmet II, who is the conqueror, who was born on March 30th, as I said. He is Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. We have a small clip to share with you guys. Go ahead, take a look. And once you're going to come back, we're going to talk about the guy who actually makes clips, but they're very funny. Go ahead.
Mehmet II, called the Conqueror, was born on March 30, 1432 and died on May 3, 1481. As a Sultan of the Ottoman Empire between 1444 to 1446 and 1451 to 1481, he extended the Ottoman control from southeastern Europe to the Danube and from Anatolia to the Euphrates River. His father, Murat II, tried to abdicate when Mehmet was only 12 years old, but in the wake of the son's unsuccessful first reign, the father returned to power. When the more mature Mehmet ascended the throne once more, after Murat's death, he tried to create a world empire like that of the Romans. He first conquered Byzantine Constantinople in 1453 and rebuilt it into the prosperous Ottoman capital of Istanbul. To counter the power of the Turkish aristocracy, Mehmet continued his father's policy of expanding the Janissary infantry corps. These Janissaries were made up of young Christians, recruited through the Dev-Sherm system, who were given salaries rather than fiefdoms to keep them loyal to and dependent on the Sultan. Mehmet authorized autonomous religious communities to give his subjects religious freedom and gain the support of their religious leaders. Equitable tax and administrative systems were created, and justice for all was emphasized. Mehmet subsequently conquered Serbia in 1459 and the Morea by 1460, extending the empire in Europe to the Danube and the Aegean despite resistance from Albania and Venice, with which he warred between 1463 and 1479. By 1461 he had conquered Anatolia as far as the Euphrates from the Turkmen principalities, but Mehmet failed to push further due to resistance from the Mamluks of Syria as well as from the White Sheep Turkmen of Iran. He was just beginning new campaigns to capture Rhodes in southern Italy when he died suddenly in 1481. Mehmet II was succeeded by his son, Bayezid II. Mehmet the Conqueror was the seventh Sultan in the Ottoman dynasty.
So now you know, ladies and gentlemen, that on 30th of March, back in history, Russia sold Alaska to the United States, and Mehmet II, conqueror of the Ottoman Empire, was born. Now, moving on to a point where we see quite a lot of wines on social media, and they keep us entertained, and we just keep on watching them, scrolling up and down all day long, and this is why we're addicted to our cell phones or to our laptops as well. So one of those guys who actually makes very funny wines is with us over here within the studios. He's none other than Mr. Adil Bukhari, who's the CEO at Islamabad Wines Official. Hello, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, I'm good.
Thank you very much for joining us, first of all.
Sir,
but let's get the conversation started because we're left with a very short time.
Yes.
How did you why did you even jump into making wines? You're a good looking boy, you should be a model, you've done modeling too as well, you should be an actor. Why wines?
Why wines? Because I feel I have to do something in modeling field.
Okay.
But when I decided to do a modeling, I feel it's not much easy for me.
Okay.
As compared to make
Making
videos
wines.
because I basically want to be an actor.
Okay.
बचपन से ही
Yeah.
यही शौक था. So when I see not a particular way of entertainment, so I decided to make videos to expose myself, that what I am, what I feel about the society and the people. So I decided to make videos. First, जो सबसे पहले मैंने जो वीडियो बनाई वो थी ही ऑडियो.
All right.
मीन्स कि वीडियो नहीं थी, वो ऑडियो थी. That was just a
I totally get it.
trick
Okay.
अब जैसे कि आपने सुना होगा कि गौरव गिरा जो वीडियोस बनाता है,
Yeah, yeah.
तो उनकी एक वीडियो थी, तो उसका जो था ना कि ऑडियो मैंने ना
Shopkeeper?
हाँ या शॉपकीपर, तो वो मैंने व्हाट्सएप पे उसे रिकॉर्ड किया और अपने एक दोस्त को सेंड किया। तो वो मैंने बनाया कि शॉपकीपर, हाँ जी बहन जी, तो वो मैंने उसको सेंड किया, तो उसने कहा ये गौरव गिरा की ऑडियो क्यों सेंड करो यार, वीडियो सेंड करो ना। मैंने कहा ये मैं हूँ।
Very nice.
उसने कहा कि अगर ये ऑडियो आप बना सकते हो तो वीडियो क्यों नहीं। सो वहाँ से हमने फिर स्टार्ट किया।
Very nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, what Adil is actually trying to say is that he actually tried to imitate one of the person who's very famous on internet as well, Gaurav Gira, and he tried imitating, and he sent an audio clip to one of his friends, and he said that, you know, oh well, that's Gaurav Gira, and why aren't you sending his video? And then he said that, you know, it's me, it's not anybody else.
It's me.
So you've got one of his video ready at the moment. Go ahead, take a look at this one, and then let's see whether Adil is a great actor or not. Promoting talent.
भाई पिज्जा खाने का बहुत दिल कर रहा है, कब तक ये खाते रहेंगे यार। भाई किसी से उधार ले लेते हैं। भाई अपने शम्स भाई नहीं है।
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just had a little bit of technical issue because we could hear the one guy and we couldn't hear the other one. So I think probably Adil can actually complete what he was trying to say in the video, but the video looked great. How much effort do you think goes into it? Do you have to do your own lights and makeup and cameraman and everything? Do you guys do it by your own self?
Each and everything. Each and everything we are performing here to present that this is the way we are doing, and whole the production is related to us.
Very nice.
मतलब everything, camera, lighting, makeup, सब उठ के एक दूसरे जा रहे हैं, सर आपका थोड़ा सा मेकअप खराब हो गया तो सेट कर देते हैं। मतलब प्रोडक्शन हाउस जो है वो हमारा बहुत ही लिमिटेड किस्म का है, यू नो कि अब इतने बड़े लेवल पे तो वाइन्स बना नहीं सकते, लेकिन अपना जो ग्रेजुअली इंशाल्लाह इन ड्रामास। और
so what does your family say about this as well? कि पुत्र केड़े काम लगा है यार, कोई बंदे दा पुत्र बन जाए। नहीं, don't they say that?
नहीं, मुझे स्टार्ट से ही जो है ना वो फैमिली से फुल किस्म की सपोर्ट थी कि आप जो भी करना चाहते हो आप करो। क्योंकि मैंने उनका जो काम था, जो उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि वो मैंने पूरा किया। उन्होंने कहा कि आपने बेटा MBA करना है। मैंने कहा ओके सर ज़रूर करेंगे। MBA किया। उन्होंने कहा आपने जॉब करनी है। ओके ज़रूर करेंगे, गवर्नमेंट जॉब करता हूँ मैं उसके साथ साथ। और उसके साथ साथ जो मेरा शौक़ है कि मतलब कि मैं एक्टिंग करना चाहता हूँ, तो उन्होंने कहा ओके तुमने हम दोनों हमारे जो ख्वाब थे वो तो पूरे कर दिए हैं, अब आपकी अपनी मर्जी है आप जो करना चाहते हैं।
And I think this is very important as well. So ladies and gentlemen, what Adil is trying to convey over here is that, you know, my family always wanted me to do masters in business administration. He did that. Then they wanted him to, you know, serve the people by actually having a job. That's what he did. But then he thought to his own self that, okay, now since I have fulfilled all their wishes, you know, mother and father, they always have expectations from their sons and daughters. So now I need to do something of my own, and this is why he came up with this idea. But gradually moving on, where do you see yourself in next 10 years? Because this is what we do over here. We can provide you a platform, we can share your stories with the people out there. But by the end of the day, it's your own journey. You know, you have to walk your own ways. How do you do that? And where do you see yourself in next 10 years?
इतना आगे का तो सोचा नहीं है वैसे सीरियसली, लेकिन सोचा इतना ज़रूर है कि जब इतनी कोशिश की है, इतना टाइम दिया है किसी एक चीज़ को, तो डेफिनेटली कुछ ना कुछ तो ज़रूर बनूंगा इंशाल्लाह। तो 10 साल के बाद देखना तो चाहूँगा कि इंशाल्लाह मैं भी PTV पे हूँ। और
And you are already here?
Yeah, I am already here. इंशाल्लाह ज़रूर कुछ ना कुछ बन जाएंगे।
And who did you take inspiration from? You know, since you said that, you know, from childhood, you actually wanted to be an actor. So who did you take your inspiration from?
Seriously, आप मानेंगे नहीं अगर आपने चाइल्डहुड की बात की है तो चाइल्डहुड से नदीम साहब कितने अच्छे एक्टर थे। तो उस टाइम से मेरा ये था कि एक बचपन में एक होता है ना कि एक परसेप्शन बन जाता है। तो मेरा वो परसेप्शन बन गया था कि नदीम साहब जो है ना वो बहुत अच्छी एक्टिंग करते हैं, और उनकी जो है ना, तो उनकी जो पिक्चर्स आती थी अखबार में, तो वो काट के मैं कबर्ड में रखा करता था कि अगर बड़े होके बनना है तो नदीम साहब बनना है। अब उसके बाद फिर प्रेफरेंसेस काफ़ी चेंज हो गई, एनवायरनमेंट चेंज हो गया, तो लेकिन अभी तक भी मुझे मतलब कि याद यही है कि मुझे नदीम साहब बहुत पसंद थे।
Amazing, and I think I've got a good news for you too as well, because ladies and gentlemen, the trailer of the film Azadi has been released, and Nadeem Saab is
Yes.
in it. He's been starred in that film as well, and I'm looking forward to that. There's Momo Rana in it. I think that inshallah on Monday we're going to share the trailer with you guys too as well. But thank you very much, Adil,
Thank you
for
so much.
joining us. It was great to have you. It is always good to see people who are striving and who are making effort and who just want to do whatever they love and whatever they like. So thank you very much once
Thank you so
again.
much.
But at this point of time, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything you want to say to us, if there's anything you want to write to us, just feel free. And if there's anybody who thinks that, he actually deserves to be on the show, please write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Dailymotion and YouTube, it's World This Morning. The fabulous repeat's going to be at 5:11 p.m. Till the next time, look after yourselves. Good morning.